Hi friends, welcome to Guru Knowledge channel. Kindly subscribe and click on the bell icon for the further updates. So today in this session we will be studying about the most expected MCQs about the English pedagogy on the topic learning and acquisition. So this video is actually the continuation of the previous video. In the previous videos also we have seen about 10 MCQs, and these MCQs are related to for the competitive exams like CTET, TET, Karnataka TET and other TET examination. So kindly subscribe and click on the bell icon. So let's quickly move on to the first MCQ. First one is, the term second language refers to see, if you observe in the options that first one is the one's native language, second is the regional language, C is the other than native, and D is none of the above. See, what is a native language? Native language means it is a mother tongue. Means mother tongue can be mother tongue or a father tongue. That is called as a native language. Whereas what is a regional language? Regional language means the language that is spoken in a small area. That is called as a regional language. Then what is a second language? Second language means what? Apart from the native language. Native language always becomes the first language, and whereas the second language means it is the other than the native language. So what will be the answer? The answer will be other than the native language. Next one, the children suffer from lack of self-esteem when they are. The children suffer from lack of esteem when they are. What is a self-esteem? What is the meaning? First we have to understand this, right? What is a self-esteem? Self-esteem means what? It is a feeling of satisfaction that someone has in himself or herself, or it also depends upon his or her abilities. That is called as a self-esteem. Okay, so what are the options given here? See, the options are not allowed to eat what they want. Next is B is not able to express their feelings through words or language. C is are not allowed to play with friends. D is none of the above, isn't it? So these are the four options that they have given. But we understood what is the meaning of a self-esteem. But what is the question? The question asked is lack of self-esteem. So when will a child have the lack of self-esteem? When he is not able to express their feelings through the words or language. Okay. So option B will be the right answer. Next, which observation supports Noam Chomsky's idea about language acquisition? So according to the Noam Chomsky, they have given few of the options have been given for this question. That is, children's language development follows a similar pattern across cultures. B is the stage of language development occurs at about the same age in most children. C is children acquire language quickly and effortlessly about the same age, and D is all of the above. So if you will observe that Chomsky's the concept of Chomsky's learning, it is related to what? Pattern. It is related to patterns. Patterns means what? Patterns, or we also call them as rules of language. Pattern means what? Patterns means like see, if I take an example like 2, 4, 6, then what will be the next number? The next number will be definitely 8, because these are what? Even number. We understood the pattern, right? 2 after 2, 4, 6. I have given the pattern. This is a pattern. 2, 4, 6 is a pattern. So definitely we can answer that the next number will be 8. So this is what it is. It is based on what? Pattern. So Chomsky's idea is also based on what? Pattern. So the option A will be the right answer. That is, children's language development follows a similar pattern across the culture. And Chomsky, he also states that all children are born with an understanding of the rules of language. They simply need to acquire the vocabulary. Okay. Next one. So the right answer is option number A. Next one. Learning to speak in a second language does not involve. Options: its pronunciation, B. culturally bound, culturally bound speaking events. C. Theoretical knowledge of a language. D. Second language grammatical knowledge. So these are the options. So what is see, observe in the question that learning to speak in a second language does not involve. The question that is asked is does not involve. That does not involve in the second language. See, if you observe the first option, that is its pronunciation. When we say pronunciation means it is related for all the languages, isn't it? Not only for the second language or the first language, but this pronunciation, it is involved in all the other languages also. Okay, so it will not, so this option will not be the right answer. So let's come to the second one. What is the second one? Second one is what? Culturally bound speaking events. What is the meaning of culturally bound? Culturally bound means limited only within a limited culture. It is limited. The cultural bound means it is bounded only within a limited area or within a limited culture it will have. For example, I will give a best example for the cultural bound. Culturally bound means intelligence test. The intelligence test means culture bound. It is an example for culture bound. And cultural bound speaking events. Next, C is theoretical knowledge of a language. Theoretical knowledge of a language, it is involved in first language also, it is all involved in the second language also, isn't it? Right? It is involved in the second language also. So C, it will not be the answer. Next, D, second language grammatical knowledge. For any of the languages we need a grammatical knowledge, isn't it? Right? So which will be the right answer? I hope you might have guessed. The option will be answer. The option will be B, that is culturally bound speaking events. Culturally bound means it is limited only within a limited culture. So whenever we are learning any any language, at that time there is no cultural bounding. There will be a culturally bounding events will not be there. So that is why the option B will be the right answer. Next one, in a constructivist classroom, language learning should be based on option A, the transaction of the prescribed textbook by the teacher. Option B, learners' previous knowledge in constructing their own knowledge using authentic tasks. C, the option that English language can only be learnt if the teacher transmit it to the learners. D, drill and practice of grammatical items. See, in a constructivist classroom, what happened? The language learning, how the language learning should take in a constructivist classroom, right? So the transaction of the prescribed textbook by the teacher, the transactions can take only between the textbooks. It means the children have to learn only the textbooks that the teacher is going to teach, that the teacher is going to transact. Or next one, B option is learners' previous knowledge in constructing their new knowledge using authentic tasks. Means that the learner, he requires the previous knowledge of the construct before he understand the new knowledge, because the new knowledge, it is always based upon the previous knowledge. If he has the previous knowledge, then only he can go forward with the, he can catch the subject very easily, or he can catch the knowledge very easily using the authentic tasks, right? Next, option C is given there, the assumption that English language can only be learnt if the teacher transmit it to the learners. Is it that the teacher only should teach the English language and then only they can they can understand the English language? Or D, drill and practice of grammatical items. Does only drill and practice of the grammatical items will help in a constructive classroom for the sake of language learning? No, right? So which will be the right answer? The right answer is which one? In a constructive classroom, the learners' previous knowledge in constructing their new knowledge using the authentic task will be the right answer. That is the option number B. Next, 16th one, home language is a dash in a natural way. Options are, it is taught, it is promoted, it is acquired, or it is learnt. See, home language means what? Home language is nothing but a mother tongue which we speak at the home. So it is called as a home language, or it is also called as a mother tongue. This type of language is it needs to be taught, or it needs to be promoted, or it needs to be acquired, or it needs to be learnt. It is nothing but it needs to be acquired. Why it needs to be acquired? Because in a day-to-day life, the child it starts acquiring the knowledge. It starts acquiring the language by himself. So it is nothing but option number C. Next one, the most important factor which is responsible for the differentiation between the language learning and language acquisition is option A, language environment, B, grammar of language, C, assessment in language, D, textbook of language. Which is the most important? See, the question asked is, we have to see the most important factor. These might be the important factors only, but we have to find the important factor that is going to differentiate between the language learning and the language acquisition. Language learning means what? Language learning is nothing but it is a process of what? Acquiring the new skills or the knowledge, and it is also used for improving the existing knowledge. Whereas language acquisition means what? Language acquisition means learning the language naturally, okay, without any systematic practice. That is called as a language acquisition. So what will be the difference? Which factor will be the which factor is going to differentiate them? Which will be the answer? Language environment, grammar of the language, assessment in the language, or textbooks of the grammar of the language will be the same, right? Language environment also will be the same. Assessment in the language also will be same. Then which will be the different factor? The different that is going to differentiate is textbook of language. Next, the process of word formation consists of. See, the process of word formation. Word formation consists of option A, compounding and conversation, B, conversation and meaning, C, spelling and compounding, D, using synonyms or ephemera. So what is this? What is the process of word formation? The process of the word formation is consists of compounding and see what is conversation and meaning. We will see conversation and meaning means can we convert and get the meanings first? First conversation is done and then the meaning is taken? No, right? Then spelling and then compounding, can we do? No. So what is using synonyms? Can we do it using synonyms? Only finding the meanings, can it work out for the words for the sake of word formation? No. So what is the right answer? The right answer is A. Why the right answer is A is because compounding and conversation. Compounding, what is the meaning of compounding? Compounding means it is formed when two or more lexemes are combined into a single new word. What is that? When two or more lexemes are combined into a single new word. Lexemes means, see, for example, note plus book. It will form what? It will form a new word called as notebook. One more example is black plus berry. So it will form what? The word blackberry. So these are what? Compounding. Compounding, and then we are going to conversation. Then we are going to converse. So that is why the option A will be the right answer. Compounding and conversation. Next is 19. We use real objects to teach young learners new words because A is it helps in teaching the correct spelling of words. We can teach vocabulary only through objects. C is young learners are not capable of abstract thinking. D is it helps learners associate words with objects they see in real life. So the question says that the real objects, why are we using the real objects to teach the young learners? For the young child, why are we using the real objects, okay, to learn the new words? Because option A, what does option A is that it helps in teaching the correct spelling of the words. Does those objects tell us to understand the correct spelling of the words? No, definitely not, right? We can teach vocabulary only through objects. Can you teach only the vocabulary? Those objects can teach us the vocabulary? No, we can just see the objects and we can identify those objects, but we cannot but the child cannot understand the vocabulary. Next, young learners are not capable of abstract thinking. Yes, isn't it? Are they young learners are not capable of abstract? Are they not capable of abstract thinking? Abstract thinking means what? Abstract means which you cannot see. They cannot think. the meaning of abstract is the meaning of abstract means which you cannot see. Okay. Next, D, it helps learners associate words with objects they see in real life. So the option is D. The learners, whenever the child sees the object, he will try to relate that object with the real life, and he tries to understand that. That is why we say that objects are very useful. It plays a central role for the child to understand the new words and to understand to learn the language. Next, the right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009 stipulates that learning should be, option A, through activities in a child friendly manner, B, supported by extra coaching, C, restricted to co-scholastic subjects, and D, carefully monitored by frequent testing. So in this question, I think the question is very easy, and with this you can from the options itself you can make out that the right of children to free and compulsory education states that every child should be treated very friendly in a very friendly manner, and they should be given and they should be taught only through the activities. Only through the activity based only the child should be treated in a friendly manner. Okay, so the right answer is A. So thank you. We will continue in the next session about the TET again with the language skills and other topics. So kindly subscribe and click on the bell icon for the further updates.